Hello, Andrew. It's Monday, week 2, and I'm just wondering if there's any progress made on the weekend. Was there any talking from the sides?
There were no negotiations on the weekend. There were informal discussions between representatives of both sides, not negotiations, but just laying some of the groundwork, getting some of the assumptions of the cost models that different people were using, basically making sure that we're talking the same language.
All right.
When we do go into negotiations.
So, I mean, it's week 2. People want to know, are things getting close? Are things gonna, are things getting closer at all to being resolved?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, there were no negotiations since, I guess, the meeting last Wednesday night. But I think, once it happens, it'll happen quickly.
Okay, and finally, I'd like to get, of course, as many perspectives as possible on this tape, and I would love to talk to some faculty members directly. However, I think there's a little bit of... I'm not really allowed to, so I'm just wondering if you could touch on maybe why I'm not allowed to talk to faculty members directly.
Sure. At the start of this, we had a meeting where we talked about our communication strategy and what we're going to do, and we decided that when I say we, I mean the whole union, the whole faculty association, decided that it was really important to send out a single, clear, consistent message when we're communicating with people outside of the association. So our members have decided not to talk to the media generally. I mean, we don't have any power to discipline our members, so that we can't physically prevent people or even punish people if they decide to do it, but people are respecting, I think, that decision. And really the reason for it, I think, is just for the sake of clarity, right? I mean, in a situation like this, there's a lot of rumors going around. I'm sure you hear a lot of different people, a lot of different things from a lot of different people.
Sure, yeah.
And we just want to make sure that, at least from our side, you're getting one single message. And then if we didn't have that, I think it would just be confusing for everybody.
Okay, well, thank you again for addressing these questions, and yeah, keep on working hard here to solve this. Thanks a lot. All right, so I'm just wondering who you may be.
My name's Sarah, and I'm from New Zealand, but I've been teaching English in Japan for the last 6 years.
And now you're on campus here and in Wolfville for only a short amount of time?
Yeah, we've been here for a month or so, and we're making a video show for people that are learning English.
So you come to campus at a very interesting time. We're in the middle of a strike, and I'm just wondering what your 2 thoughts are of the strike in general.
Well, at first I was just surprised because when I was at university, I was a first year about 10 years ago, and we did a lot of protesting about student fees. So it was always the students protesting, so it's quite interesting for me to see the teachers protesting.
Are they allowed in New Zealand to actually go on strike? I know in Germany, for example, I talked to somebody and they're not allowed. But would they be in New Zealand? And if they are, does it ever happen?
Good question, and I don't know. I've heard of secondary school teachers and primary teachers striking, but I've never heard of university teachers striking, so I'm not sure.
Okay, well, with that in mind, do you think it was ethical for our faculty to have gone on strike here?
I'm not really sure. Maybe I don't know enough about it, but my initial reaction is I tend to think that if you don't like the conditions of your job, why don't you just get a new job? So, yeah, that's my kind of take on it. But maybe if I knew more about the situation, I would think differently.
For sure. Any last thoughts you have about the strike to whoever else may be listening?
That's about it. I guess I just hope they can resolve it as quickly as possible. Maybe a week off is not too bad, but if it gets any longer, it's pretty unfortunate. So. For sure.
How much longer are you guys here in town for?
We're leaving on Saturday.
All right. Well, thanks so much for coming to town and agreeing to talk on this video.
No worries.
Bye-bye. Bye. All right, man. So who would you be?
My name's Sam Mackay. I'm a 5th-year student here at Acadia, and I'm here to talk about the strike.
All right. So what do you think about it so far? It's day 6, I guess, Monday of the 2nd week.
Yeah, it's been a while. So far at first, it was great. We found it on Sunday, immediately went to the Ville, partied, everyone was out. It was like a Saturday night, it was great, and pretty much haven't stopped since last night.
But now it's dragging on.
Now it's dragging on, and it's time for school. Like everyone's paying, right, for school, and I'd like to get my degree. I'm supposed to be done at Christmas. If the term doesn't happen, I can always finish next term, but there's a lot of fourth-year students that are really depending on graduating, right?
Yeah.
And I know a few of them, you know, if this term gets scrapped, they're just going to leave schools. Like, it's going to piss off a lot of people. But I think Acadia is smart enough to save the term, because if they don't, the school's reputation is just down the drain.
Do you think
students are going to go and not recommend it at all, and there's just going to be a lot of bad press for Acadia. I mean, it's not good.
Well, it can't happen every 4 years.
No, I was here for the first one, first year. Back then I was 19, I was 18, living in res, so then I just played Xbox and drank beer and went to the gym, you know, but that was really boring. Like, if I was, like, it was good for a few days, but if I was in res now, like, a few of them thought it was okay for maybe 3 days, but they've all left. They've all gone home, and it just pisses people off.
Do you think it was ethical for them to have gone on strike?
Ethical, you know, I think they should have solved it. Like, they could have. Like, the last contract was what? It's been 4 years, so I guess the last contract was for 4 years.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. So, like, there's 4 years there to think ahead, think long term, and think, you know, what's the next contract going to be? You know, like, they should have. I don't know. I think it's kind of poorly handled by the school, and I know some teachers, you know, they don't like the strike, they don't want to do it, but they're part of a union, right? And the majority rules, so they have to get out there and wave their signs, even though they don't want it. Really, it's not ethical for the students, because they're paying to go here, and they're getting, you know, it's the second week of getting nothing. You know, there's no school.
Do you have any other last thoughts about the strike to whoever else may be listening?
I know the strike's been good for a lot of people, they're having fun. It's like Strike Fest, everyone's drinking, but it's been a week now, and I think people are really getting tired, and they want to get back to school. You know, they want to do what they came here to do, and that's learn and get their degree, especially for fourth years. Or myself, I'm just finishing off a term here, and people really want to finish and get their degree, and if they don't, you're going to have a lot of pissed off people.
Well, thank you so much, Sam.
You're welcome.
Hello, my name is Jeremy Novak. I'm a fourth-year business student here at Acadia, and I'm normally the guy on the other side of the camera, but it's a 6-day plus a weekend, so I just thought I'd throw in my 2 cents into all of this also. What do I think of the strike so far? Well, selfishly, it's been great. I mean, I've got a chance to work on this project, and it's been a lot of fun talking to people, but I know, big picture, this is devastating. This isn't good for anyone involved. It's not good for the faculty, the admin, the school, the town, enrollment, the claims rankings, whatever the case may be. This isn't necessarily where we want to find ourselves, but I really think that the faculty is doing this because they don't want to have to go through this every 3 or 4 years. Do I think it was ethical for them to have gone on strike? Well, I think it's like short-term pain, long-term gain. Whenever a decision is actually going to be found, everyone's going to be better off, because hopefully a winning compromise will be found. Maybe they're both going to have to give in some. Maybe they're both going to have to give in a lot. And maybe one side's going to have to give in more so than the other. When's that going to happen? And who's going to have to give in? Who's to say? It's just unfortunate that right now it's our grad class, it's our time that we have to go through this. But it'll come together. Do I have any last thoughts? Well, I don't think we're going to be losing the semester. I believe that the history of Canadian universities, only 2 semesters have ever been lost completely to a strike, and I really don't see us joining that list anytime soon. Thanks to everyone who's been involved, whether I've talked to you, interviewed you, or whether you watched on YouTube. It's been fun. So I will continue this every day of the strike, and hopefully that's not going to, continue for that much longer. Check out ACE Acadia. We're a fun club doing things, but this thing is going to settle soon. See you guys.